Hi everyone, Shane here from ComX with Jerome.
Hey guys.
Hey, we're here to talk to the creators that are working on issue 1 of ComX Studio Presents. And so we'll just bring them straight on, I guess. We'll start with Rob Spedsy Lyle.
Hey, how's it going, mans?
Hey, how you going?
Good, mate.
And then,
Hey, man.
Good to hear. And then we'll bring on Ed. Hey, Ed.
Hello.
Hey. Now,
how is everyone?
Good, thanks.
Good.
We were going to have Peter Wilson on as well, who's also working on the comic, the Anthology, but he's called in sick, I guess you could say. Some personal matters he had to attend to, so such is life. And Isaac, well, he's just missing in action. So Isaac George. So maybe he'll pop up, maybe he won't. We don't know yet. So
yeah, Peter's finally getting that boil on his face lanced, apparently. So, yes, good news. Oh, that was his actual face. Oh, sorry. Okay. I kid because I love. I kid because I love.
Yes, of course. Well, what I'll do is I'll bring up the picture here. So these are all the comics within a comic. We've got Vivian Jones, Occult Detective, Frederick Cheloni. Right. Cheloni. Okay,
Cheloni.
I got it eventually. Final Dragon and Foes.
Awesome.
So they're the 4 stories that you can look forward to in ComX Studio Presents, issue 1 coming out in August.
Yeah.
So I'll start with you, Rob, because you came on first.
Yep.
So what are you up to at the moment outside of Presents?
The main comic that I do, I am affectionately called the Toilet Guy. I do the Devil's Toilet.
Yep.
It's about a toilet that escapes from hell and unwittingly brings with him a gateway from hell to Earth, which unleashes hell on Earth. Means the devil can escape to Earth. So my story in ComX Presents is Frederick Cheloni, Turtle Detective, and he is someone who himself is no stranger to fighting demons. He did so in 1889, I think it was. So characters from the end of The Devil's Toilet 2 go back in time to pull him from history and bring him into the now to help them with their new getting rid of demons situation. And so the ComX Presents story is sort of like a prologue to Devil's Toilet 3. It shows you what Frederick Cheloni was up to before Annika, the Angel of Awesome, and Meatsack Jack went back in time to pluck him from... He had Jack the Ripper. Well, look, I won't spoil it, but it's good times.
Good stuff. Okay, yourself, Ed. What you're working on Radical, is that right?
Yeah, I'm. My comic is called Radical, which is this guy, and I'm just finishing up issue 3 at the moment. I got to do the colors and the lettering, and I have the first 3 issues is the origin story of the character.
Oh, yeah, cool. Mm-hmm. Nice. And can you tell us a bit about your story in Presents?
In Presents, I'm doing Final Dragon, which is it's like a karate comic. I'm trying to get a mix between the 90s image craziness and like the shooter era solid storytelling kind of vibe with the thing. I'm using like a old school style coloring method, so it looks like an old comic, and it's also based on Double Dragon.
Ooh. Hell yeah!
Oh yes.
I was going to say, is there a video game influence?
Yeah, there's a fair bit of video game influence. Like all the bad guys are the bad guys from Double Dragon 1 and 2, and it's kind of the crux of the story is at the end of Double Dragon 1. If you're playing 2 players, you have to fight each other to have an ultimate winner. Yep. So it's like the the two brothers have had a big fight, and this is the fallout of it. And we're resolving what happens when the two karate guys fight.
Holy shit!
Nice.
I didn't realize
That's
that.
awesome.
Final dragon. So it's literally those two guys
Yeah, there's one left.
working out who the final dragon is. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Final dragon.
Oh, and look who's just popped in. Isaac.
Hello.
Yeah, man.
Hey man.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm late.
That's okay. Better late than never.
It's that late.
Cool.
I'm
So,
practically late.
so do you want to? It's your turn. You're up right on the spot. Do you want to tell us about Bronwyn that you're working on at the moment?
Bronwyn. I can actually show you some tea.
Cool.
Oh.
Actually, I'll make it a bit bigger so we can see it properly.
Poor Brahman, her face has been sucked to a vortex. It's like
No.
she's got no head.
I have a habit of doing their faces last. And then because I draw with marker, if I ruin the face, then the whole thing fucked.
Yeah. Is it because you don't like drawing faces and so you leave it to last? Or
I never actually used to draw my figures with faces. All through high school, I found a way to like not include the face, like hair blowing across it, or
yeah.
and now I do that with hands.
The Rob Liefeld would hide feet. You hid the whole character's head.
Nice.
I'm better at hands now.
Yeah.
And then feet, I'm just like, I don't need them. Like, there's a lot of panels now of like closer to like feet walking past the air or past skulls and stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. So, do you want to tell us? Oh, sorry. Do you want to tell us
Well,
about the story on Presents? So, Vivian.
Vivian is a giraffe detective. He's
Nice.
set in the 1920s. Vivian was my grandfather's name, so it's all family kind of orientated still. Bronwyn comes from my Irish ancestry, like looking into that, so it's all kind of family.
Nice.
That's good.
Make it nice and personal.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
grandfather wasn't called Frederick, but he was a turtle, so that still ties in.
But he's the first issue is part his origin, and it sets up the villain for the 12 parts.
Yep. Cool. Very nice. And I'll just quickly bring up this picture and talk in Peter's response. I can't think of the word now. In his place. There we go. His one is called Foes. It's a demon whose name it's right there in front of me. Demontis, who's up against an alien called Zero. And I've had the good fortune to read most of. Very nice there, Rob. I've had the good fortune to read the first issue. So the first story, the first 8 pages, and it's pretty much just an origin story of how this little demon got to Earth and how this alien got to Earth and what started their rivalry. So that's a lot of fun. Trust me, you'll be looking forward to that one when the book comes out. It's a great story. So
Yeah, Peter's art is crazy good.
his art's really good and his storytelling's really good.
I have a book called Vamoose. Now that looks like I just segued into talking about myself, but Peter actually has a story in the first issue of Vamoose.
Was great. It's like, oh, there's this.
Yeah. Are we done talking about Peter? Because here's my stuff. No, Pete actually Pete contributed
Nice.
5 pages of awesomeness in this book, so it's really cool. So if you get a taste for Peter in ComX Presents and he's still got some shekels left, you can check him out in Vamoose.
Yeah, nice. Awesome.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. I like it. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
is the Roman number 3 with the
Yeah.
cover?
So, well, what we'll go into, we'll just ask some general questions so people can get to know you guys. I think Jerome has some questions for you. They're just general questions. We'll just tell it to the group, and you can fight with each other over who gets to answer. So, you know.
Yeah, we just want people to know you guys, you know. So,
All right.
yeah, let's start with something light, you know. First, guys, what got you into writing, drawing your comic books or graphic novels? You know, I mean, I think it's general consensus that we're all comic book fans here, but what started it all for you guys? I mean, let's start with Rob. You know.
Well, what started my sort of like, so I've always been drawing for as long as I could remember. I sort of found I was going to say I found my style when I started ripping off The Simpsons. So I found Matt Groening's style. And between Matt Groening's Simpsons and a friend of mine's brother, Nick May, I sort of found my style as a meshing of both of theirs. In terms of my love for comics, well, I was a huge fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And my friend Dan went to America and returned with a present for me, and it was issues 7 and 8 of Archie Turtle series. And I had comics when I was quite young, like I'd had like 3 or 4, like a Captain America and a Star Wars and something. But when I read those Turtle issues, I needed to read more. And when I went to get more, I found X-Force 1. And when I found X-Force 1, it was all over. I was, as you can see behind me, I became obsessed and haven't looked back.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And who was the other Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan again? I forgot. It was. Oh. Yeah. Well, anyway. So, what about you, Ed?
Well, my parents are British, so ever since I can remember, I've always had comics like Buster and Dandy and Beano. They're the British humor magazines. And then as I got older, I started getting into there's one called Oink, which was like a more teenager sort of styled British humor magazine, and I was reading Mad, and I was picking up a lot of like Aussie reprints of DC and Marvel stuff at garage sales and things. And then by the 90s, I started getting the proper Marvel and DC stuff from the newsagents and things, and then found out about the alternate worlds in Windsor. And from then on, it was pretty much all over. And when I started to want to make comics, because I had been making like little comics ever since I was a little kid, but in year 10 in 93, and they said you got to pick a thing that you're going to do for your job for the rest of your life. I thought, well, I'll write comics. And then so I tried to get my friends to draw them for me, and no one wanted to do it, so I had to learn how to draw as well. And then I just got addicted to it from then on.
Nice.
That's a frustration. We have the same frustration that I was looking for people to draw stories that I write, but nobody wanted to. You know.
Yeah, the best thing is to just pick up a pencil and start drawing. Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Zach?
I've always drawn. What made me really want to draw comics was Batman the Animated Series.
Nice.
And then, when I got older, there was Xena.
Oh, yeah.
So, pretty much that. Xena was the first comic I actually bought with my own money. So,
Nice.
That's really good.
there was a nice love affair with Xena. So you can
So-
think through him for everyone's suffering, really.
What was your guy? What's this? What was your first involvement with the industry, guys? I mean, what you started as you started early as what artists and writers, you know. But what got you in the industry first? How about you, Ed? What?
Well, like I said, I started trying to make comics in '93. I think it was around about a year later that I started trying to make a superhero team book called Battle Tide, and that took me about 3 years to figure out how to do it all. And I put that out in '97. So I put my first book out in '97, and then I did a couple of other comics and stuff through the late '90s and the early 2000s, and then I kind of stopped for a long time, and then came back doing it a couple of years ago with Radical. So.
Nice.
Yeah. So how about you, Zach? What was your first industry experience? Yeah.
In high school, I had Rowan in my school newspaper, school magazine. Kind of thing.
Yep. School magazine. Yep.
3 comic strips of Rowan in that. Then I didn't touch Rowan again till 2010. Released a book in 2010 along with another book called Curse of Vendettas. Disappeared again till 2012. When I drew my mate's comic Scavenger. Disappeared again till 2014. Drew another mate's book, Ever After.
Disappeared again.
Disappeared again. Then 2016, I relaunched Rowan and haven't stopped.
Until tonight, in 2021, you disappeared again.
Let's hope not.
And then you came on late.
I feel like next year is a good year to disappear again. Maybe a solid 10-year hiatus will be.
You're like another manga artist that I know, you know, disappears every now and then. So how about you, Rob?
So when I was younger, I think it would have been 1993 or so, I did a comic called The Toxic Avengers. Now, I knew there was a character called the Toxic Avenger, and I knew there was a super team called the Avengers, but had anyone done a super team called the Toxic Avengers? I don't know. So I had these characters that ran around, and they all called each other the Avengers, which was short for the Toxic Avengers. But then the next book I wanted to do, I teamed up with a buddy, Dan May, and I said, I want to draw a book where I create one character, you create another character, and they go on adventures together. So we drew it in year 10, I think to 1994 or something. Kurt Cobain had just died. The nation was mourning. Meanwhile, we were drawing silly comics. So I brought out my character. It was called the Assassin. And he was essentially just the Punisher, but he was called the Assassin. And then so Dan brought his over, and Dan's character was a big scrotum for a head, and his name was Bollocks Brains. And I was like, well, the Assassin and Bollocks Brains, that's not really... So I drew a character called Nasal Fluff, and our comic was Nasal Fluff and Bollocks Brains. That took off. Image signed us immediately. We sold the rights to Netflix.
Of course,
it didn't even exist yet. So I went away for a while, went and hung out with Zach for a bit, and then I came back with a book called Badly Beaten Boy. I was in a band. We had a message board that had a bunch of people on it, so I would always post my cartoons and stuff. And so I started drawing Badly Beaten Boy, and I put this out maybe 2006 or something, maybe 2007.
And that just
proud
happened
that
to
it
be sitting
exists,
there.
but yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Everything is on arm's length.
I don't like showing it off. This is like the 5th time I put it on camera. Yeah, and then I actually, somewhere in there, I had done a Devil's Toilet comic, but I gave it to maybe 3 or 4 people. It was just, I worked at a printer, so I printed it at work. It was A4 sized. But then, yeah, I over the course of Badly Beaten Boy, my drawing got better. So years later, I decided to do the Devil's Toilet again, just as a exercise in drawing, just to get better at drawing. And had it on my computer for ages until Hayden Spurrell walked into my work. I work at Alternate Worlds, comic book store. And he put Rick McClune on the shelf, and it said Reverie on it. And I picked it up, and I was like, what's all this about? And spoke to Reverie, and they put the Devil's Toilet out. And, yeah, so I haven't looked back.
Awesome.
That's good. So, yeah, since you're all artists here, so every artist has that specific ritual that they do before you're starting work. I mean, I like to drink my coffee before I start doing work. So, what's your rituals, guys? So, Zach, you up?
Coca-Cola, not drugs. And then, if I have to draw a fight scene, I put the nanny on.
Yes. I remember you telling me that. Yes. The nanny.
Like,
I find that
grew up watching
fascinating.
The Nanny. I love the show, but somewhere deep in my brain, it makes the most meanest fights.
Can
awesome.
imagine Celtic history, and then there's the nanny. It's from the nanny, you know.
I'm sure Fran Drescher would love that. Sitting at the sitcom. It leads to like a punch-up brawl.
It's that voice. That would make me angry as well.
I love Fran Drescher.
Then
So
I normally work at night too. And that's probably a major thing as well.
yeah, that helps a lot.
Everyone sleeps and that's me alone.
Sleep is overrated.
Yeah, nobody sleeps in this group. So how about you, Rob? Any rituals before you work?
I like to do a seance, just summon any demons that are in the area. No,
So
I don't know.
The demon characters are real.
Summoning toilets. It's a special ritual for summoning toilets.
Yeah, this is actually an autobiography. It was channeled through me. It just happened to be sitting here, Shane. Yes. So in terms of rituals, I guess, I mean, honestly, it's really just telling my kids to please be quiet for a few minutes. Daddy has to draw. That's how we get our money. And yeah, my son. Well, firstly, he often tells me we've got money in his piggy bank, so Daddy doesn't need to draw. Or then he'll go off and he'll draw, and then come and ask how much money he can get. And I was like, buddy, you got to do the first couple of hundred. You got to do for free. No, I like cranking some music, which often case like Zach, I do it at night when the kids are asleep. So cranking music in my headphones, salt and vinegar chips next to me, Pepsi Max, and say hello to the next morning, and text Zach and say, "You going to bed yet?" That's the last couple of weeks. Me and Zach have been saying hello to each other at 2 a.m.
I personally enjoy when you just look out your window and you're like, "Oh, the sun's up, cool," and then you're like, "I really need to sleep." Nah, it's fine.
Nah. Sleep. So, how about you, Ed? Any rituals that you want to share with us?
Karate gloves.
Yeah,
Yes, karate gloves. Yes.
I don't know where it is at the moment. Apart from the karate gloves, when I was drawing traditionally, the thing I used to do was look for my pens and pencils everywhere for about an hour before I started because I could never find anything. But I've got drawing digitally. I've got the little holder in there. That makes it easier. So I don't really have any anymore. Now I know where my pen is.
that's gold.
What I love is having a bucket full of like pens, and you look for the one pen that you actually want, even though it's the same brand as the one that you don't know the other one.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, and it must be that pen.
Yeah. And then you can't find it, so then you literally like, fine, I'll draw something else that doesn't require that pen. I don't know. It's weird being an artist.
I botched the surgery on that guy. So he's in stitches. So I'm not
Just
a
thought I'd share
doctor.
that with-
Why would you come to me for surgery?
Maybe it did karate on him.
Yeah.
That's why he's got stitches.
I did do karate when I was a kid. Got to orange belt, so I don't know if that. I'm not quite the final dragon, but I might be like a bit of the tail of a dragon.
You get it in, you're fine.
You know what was the worst about Double Dragon back in the day, playing it on Sega Master System, was there's no saving or anything like that. And so,
Yeah.
you know, my dad would come in and go, all right, boys, we're going. It's like, no, we're up to the bit where you throw rocks at each other.
The Master System was a good version, though.
And like it felt like it went for about 4 hours, but then I played it as an adult, and I was like, it went for about 25 minutes, and I was like, oh, time was of the essence when I was young, apparently.
That's why they made them hard, because they weren't very long.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's a joke in there, but I'm not sure.
no. There's no joke in there.
No,
Nuh-uh.
that's what she's would anyway.
Penis.
Oh, nice.
Oh
Nice.
no.
Next question, Jerome. Quickly.
Okay.
Quickly.
Not too quick.
Okay. Yep. Let's not be that guy. so okay. So which of course all of us have that our those favorite properties, intellectual properties that we like a lot. I mean, which one is it for you guys and why? Because at least for and what if you had the chance to modify or give a small modification on your favorite stories, you know, what will it be? I mean, let's start with Ed.
I'm not sure. I don't know why you'd want to modify a story that you like.
Well, I mean, yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, maybe I don't understand the question, so maybe do something
I
else.
mean, yeah.
What is your favorite IP? We'll go with that. Your
might as
favorite
well.
comic.
My favorite comic, the superhero stuff. It was the Keith Giffen and J.M. DeMatteis Justice League in the 90s.
Ah,
And,
nice.
Yes.
And then after that, like Preacher's one of my favorite comics ever, and really like the Max as well.
Yeah, I was a big fan of the Max. I was a big fan of the Max.
Yeah, I just I had the whole set of the Maxes, and I let them out about 15 years ago, and I just got them back a couple of weeks ago. So I'm looking forward to reading them all again.
Nice.
You're lucky you got them back after that long.
They went through they got lent around a fair bit, but they've come back now. And I had the glow in the dark cover and the Wizard half issue as well. So
Nice.
pretty good collection. It's good to have it back now.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was a glow in the dark one. I've got the full set, but I obviously don't have that one.
I got it because it was in they kept matching it in the letters pages in every issue. Everyone was always wanting the glow in the dark issue 1, and then I saw it. It was like $40 at Alternate Worlds, and I just had $40 in my bank, so I emptied my bank account and went and got it.
It was meant to be.
So what about you, Rob? What's your favorite IP?
So my favorite comic when I was like 16 or so was Ghost Rider. My favorite character was Ghost Rider, Danny Ketch, Ghost Rider. Spirits of Vengeance when he was with Johnny Blaze as well. I don't know. I'm scared to reread them because X-Force was one of my favorites too, and I reread, and it just wasn't the same as how I remembered it. So I'm not going to reread Spirits of Vengeance. Would I love to write it? Probably not. I don't know. Like, it would be interesting. I have dabbled with writing a spec script for Spider-Man. I feel like my sense of humor would lend itself to writing Spider-Man. My favorite comic of all time is Y: The Last Man. But that's not a universe to play around with. That's a beautiful piece of work that shouldn't be touched. Like, one of my favorite comics as a kid was an Australian comic that it's not completely out of the realm of possibility that I could have them appear in Devil's Toilet. I want to do a crossover, and so I kind of don't want to like jinx it by saying it, but yeah. Yeah, I don't want to say it, but
No,
if I
cool.
could wrangle it, and it's slightly within the realm of possibility, then I'll shoot my shot. It's like the lady I had a crush on when I was younger was Toddy Goldsmith, and I you know how you have a list when you're with a partner or whatever, you might have like it was on Friends where you would have like a list of 5 celebrities who a hallway pass or whatever.
Yeah, whatever they called it.
Yeah, so Toddy Goldsmith was on my hallway pass thingy. And so, but years ago, I did a screenwriting course and I wrote a sitcom and I sent it to Toddy Goldsmith. And she read it and she was like, you know, if you got this made, I would happily be in it. And then I was like, it was like 7 degrees of like, it had gone down to 1 degree. I was like, I'm going to meet Toddy Goldsmith. I'm going to be writing a show with Toddy Goldsmith. And I told my wife about it and she wasn't super happy. I can't remember what my I willed it into existence is my point. So I'm trying to will this team up with the Devil's Toilet and They Who Shan't Be Named into existence. So see how we go. Maybe on the next live stream I'll report back, and if it was a failure I'll tell you who it was. And yeah, if it's a success I'll tell you who it was. But
well,
yeah,
fingers crossed it's a success.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
I can't say words now.
No.
So now, Zach, what's yours? What's your favorite IP?
In comics.
Batman, Wonder Woman, probably. Except I'm probably too terrified to touch those those because they did in 2010 they did a Wonder Woman Odyssey story where they did a really cool story and she was in an alternate reality and they gave her pants and the series got cancelled because she wore pants. So I'm just like, wow, we do not mess with these characters. But as for like bringing up like dream crossovers, and mine is not gonna happen. So it's Braun and Xena. I think that'll be fun. I could draw it, but it'll be silly.
You could draw it, just don't show it to anyone.
I'll publish it for free. No.
You could do a bootleg. That's it.
Someone's actually asked me to do
do.
a sketch cover of them two together. I'm like, okay. So
Call it
there
fan
is
power.
Braun-
Yeah,
There is
call
Braun
it
and
fan
Xena
parody, you know?
together. Somewhere
That'd be
out
cool.
That's awesome. So, if the community is getting bigger, but there's still this like group of Australian comic book creators that came before you guys or came after you guys. So, which other Australian comic book creators do you follow? And which ones do you want to work with in the future? I guess we partially answered this, but you know,
Rob won't answer this one.
Let's not put
I can
limits.
tell you others. I'm doing a Torn Southern Squadron crossover that I wrote with Dave DeVries of Southern Squadron fame. I would work with Dave again in a heartbeat. It was like going to writing class every time we spoke. Ed just texted me, and yes, he guessed it. He guessed who my dream team up is. Gary Challoner, I would love to do something with. Tim McEwen of Greener Pastures, I would love to do something with. Yeah, those are my top 3, I guess.
Cool.
Cool. Also had a chat with Dave DeVries a few days ago, a week ago,
Yeah.
and it's like talking to going to a lecture, like a comic book lecture.
I mean, it helps. He teaches writing, so yeah.
Yep. So, how about Ed? Who's your dream team?
But back in the day, the Platinum Grit was, like, I think one of the best Aussie comics around at the time, and Bug and Stump was really good as well. And yeah, I suppose if those guys were still doing it, I haven't seen the Platinum Grit people around, I don't think. But yeah, I suppose those guys.
Yeah, I've had a look to see if they're around, and I haven't had much luck either. Because their old stuff was quite hard to get, because I wanted to see what it's all about, because I haven't had the luck to actually to read it like you must have.
Yeah, well, you could get it at the newsagents when the newsagents had comics, and so that
Cool.
was yeah. Oh, there was Cyber Swine as well, which was a pretty crazy book. Like,
I haven't heard of that one.
yeah, I suppose that's probably what the one that I'd like to do that suits my style the most would be the Cyber Swine with the. It's like RoboCop, but he's a pig guy.
Nice.
And I did a Cyber Swine comic in around '96, I think. But
what, like one that came out?
No, it's just I took it to a convention, but then never showed it to any of the guys. They had Bug and Stump, Cyber Swine, and there's is it called Officer Punks or something? There's like a Dirty Harry cop who had big long hair and he just shot everyone, and there's a crazy comic. There's a fair bit of stuff was actually going around in the early '90s before the big market crash.
Yeah.
And it was good that you could get it like you'd see it when you were looking at the X-Men's and stuff.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Bug and Stump, I just went to get my X-Force, and there was this comic that I'd never seen, picked it up, and fell in love. Join the dots. What could he have been talking about before? Bug and Stump. I would love to do a Bug and Stump Devil's Toilet team up.
Nice.
I'm working on a pitch so that I can go to them with the look. I'll just put it out there. So my signature on this book, it's hard to see, but Mark Sexton, the creator of Bug and Stump, used to sign his books like this. I was a kid, read Bug and Stump, basically ripped off his signature. Mine's a more graffiti version of it, but it wasn't until years later that I was looking at it and was like, oh, I still sign it in the Bug and Stump style. Worse than that, the robot on the front cover, who then goes on to appear in the Devil's Toilet, I was just looking at it and I was wondering where, I was like, that's a pretty cool design for a robot. Where would I have come up with that? Because I came up with it when I was 16 or so. I didn't come up with it. I damn near ripped it off Bug and Stump.
Isn't that the police robots from Bug and Stump?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm going to
find those royalty checks.
Yeah, so I've told Mark Sexton about the signature thing, and he laughed it off. I'm going to tell him that I'm going to blow up the robot in the next issue and get rid of it. But I thought maybe it could blow up because Bug and Stump tell it that it's copyright infringement and it should blow up. So we'll see. It's out there now. What do you think, Mark? Let's do it. $. Ching, ching, ching.
They've got a Mark Sexton sketch of Bug. It's really cool. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
He's a good artist.
Yeah, hell yeah. I feel like him and your Final Dragon character could have a hair off. The two big crazy hairstyles.
Oh yeah, it was Stump. He was a real little guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, Stump was. Yeah. Before he had the haircut, before he got the thing chopped off.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's all coming back now.
Deep cuts into Bug and Stump.
So how about you, Zach?
See, I only started really collecting comics in the early 2000s, and my experience with indies are only very recent. I really enjoy Matt Kine's Wrath of the Curse.
Oh yeah, that's a good book.
Oh, yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
He very generously just goes, "Here you go, you can have a crossover. Just do what you want with my character." That's terrifying.
You killed him on the first page.
No, all I did was make his ancestor work with Bronwyn, and I'm slowly morphing Bronwyn into his canon.
Awesome.
Um,
So that when he sells the movie rights, they have to buy the Bronwyn rights because otherwise you can't tell his full
Nice.
story. This is genius.
Yes.
Um,
absolutely.
so in this new issue, even I work in like his current cursed version, retelling how their ancestor first met Bronwyn, and that he's part of a cult that Bronwyn's part of it. So I'm like intertwining them. There's no way in hell that they're ever getting apart. But Matt Kine's a really cool dude. It's rare you let someone touch your property, let alone like, here you go, I trust you with it. So,
That's pretty cool.
and I know he likes it, so that's a bonus.
Awesome.
And then
Yeah.
doing the calendar, the ComX calendar. Met a few people have already become my new calendar people. I'm covered. I think that nearly half of them. 2 of them, right here.
Yeah,
But,
it's awesome.
Okay. So what's the ideal future for you guys? I mean, are you looking to go full mainstream, or what? Are
Yeah,
you
indie?
gonna stay indie? So let's start with
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
Rob looks ready to answer.
I
Go
was
with
just
Rob.
keeping it rolling. No, I mean, if it stayed exactly like it is for me right now, I would be more than happy. I'm having the time of my life. I've got lots of books on the go and making more and more friendships in the Australian comic scene and stuff. Like my ultimate goal, I would love to have a cartoon based on maybe The Devil's Toilet or Frederick Trelawney or just anything. I would love to, I'd love to voice a character and all that sort of stuff. I'd love to have like 2 serious long-running books with Image or IDW or something like that. But yeah, as I say, I'm working with some awesome people now. Working on some awesome projects now. So if everything just stayed like this too, I'd be more than happy. So yeah, that's me.
Yep, awesome projects. Awesome projects. Oh, that wasn't me. How about you, Zach?
I think mainstream would scare me, especially because then you'd be on that monthly deadline, and I'd do everything for Bronwyn, and I wouldn't be able to do that on a month basis. A whole book for Bronwyn.
Makes sense.
Indie's cool. I like being indie. I control Bronwyn and the rights to it and everything. And
Yep.
I can pick and choose who I work with.
Nice.
Okay. I'll probably say indie. Although the mainstream money's an attractive idea.
yeah.
But then I don't have money now, and I still don't care. So I don't think money's a factor when you get really enjoying making comics.
Money's overrated.
Yeah.
Comics.
I don't think there's that much money in it anymore. Anyway,
Oh, okay.
They keep lowering the page rates and stuff. So
Oh, okay.
the dream of working for Marvel or DC is just really not as attractive as it used to be.
Not.
Oh, okay.
It's getting harder and harder to get in anyway. So
But there's less and less books, and most of their guys are from, like the artists, they're getting it from Europe and South America now. So
ComX is where it's at.
Yep.
The big three they've been saying already: Marvel, DC, and ComX.
ComX, yep.
Oh, we all know we're better than DC and Marvel. Haven't got
Where
the
else can you
issue
see
out yet,
two?
but we know we're better.
Where else can you see a turtle detective and a giraffe detective in totally different stories?
Oh, the cover you showed me last night, I laughed so hard. It was so perfect.
And I didn't think to bring the covers into this, so I've only got the other the promotional
You told
pieces.
me I had to have the cover done before tonight. That's why I did it yesterday.
Yeah,
I made the deadline.
you made the deadline. I
Shady
forgot.
editor.
He was just saying that so you get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shh, Ed. Shh.
Yeah, I'll have the book done in time, and then he'll go, all right, it's ready for next year. Well, what?
What about yourself, Ed? Where do you see yourself?
The Marvel and DC thing definitely was the impetus to start, like back in the 90s. Like that was the big deal, and
Yep.
like Image was huge.
Yes.
But now it's definitely like you wouldn't be able to do a thing like Final Dragon at a major publisher or anything like that. So the Radical's too weird and unpolished for those sorts of things. But so it's an indie all the way. Like
What's weird about laser balls?
laser balls
Seriously.
is awesome.
Nothing weird about laser balls.
I would love to get an image eye on like the cover of Radical. That would be pretty sweet. So
Yeah.
that would be like a long-term goal. Because after like the Justice League at issue 60, they stopped the funny version and went to the just normal superhero style again. I think that was in 92 or it was 92. It was lead up to the death of Superman. And so I completely lost interest in that. And then that's when I started getting into all the Image stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's basically been Image all the way since
Did
then.
everyone here have that phase of like you're like a hardcore Marvel DC and you just like fade out and you're like, oh, Image or Dark Horse?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought every single Image book I could find. Like, I would buy
Oh.
number 4 of that, number 6 of that, just anything.
Yeah.
Because they were so pretty.
I went to Dark Horse for the Hellboy, and now I'm like trying to backfill everything. So any comic book store's back issues of like BPRD or Hellboy or Witchfinder or many of his other hundreds of spin-offs. Like just buying all the single back issues. Like why? I'm like, it's genius work. World building wise, he's pretty genius.
Oh yeah.
But the main Hellboy story is pretty.
Did he end up finding that witch, or is he still looking?
Pardon?
Did he end up finding the Witchfinder, or is he still looking?
Is there more than one week?
Hey, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, mate. I was just shooting my shot then. This will get him laughing. Oh no.
Ah, good stuff.
His Witchfinder knows who Jack the Ripper is, but won't tell. So
What? There's that Jack the Ripper in Witchfinder, is there? Is that what you said?
yeah. Volume 6, it's for Reign of Dark, and he finds out who Jack the Ripper is. But he's sworn under allegiance to the crown not to reveal who it is. So he can't.
I was telling Zach, so I have Jack the Ripper in my Cheloney book, and then Zach was telling me about all the different Jack the Ripper stories he's read, and I was like, there's nothing original about what I'm doing. maybe Zach the Ripper is my in, and I'll just have you running around London's
Why are we
East End.
telling people what I do in the morning? I don't really tell people.
Except it's you. No, I thought it was you ripping farts. Zach the Ripper.
Oh, nice.
Oh dear.
I do a comic about toilets, you guys. So potty
Yes,
humor is my bag. Is my colostomy bag? Yeah.
Cool. So
Okay.
So Jerome, got any more questions?
Where we're all like, Rob,
Well,
you need a nap.
I mean, So, okay. What else should? Okay, what else can I ask? Okay. Let's wing it. Do you start drawing from what do you draw your drawings from? That's a weird question. Where do you get your drawings from, guys? I mean, is it from life? Is it from experiences? Is it just letting your imagination run wild? Yeah. I mean, Ed, I guess.
Rob.
Let's start with Ed.
Rob, where did you? Oh, we're starting with Ed. I was going to say, where did you get toilets from? Seriously, where do you figure out how to draw a toilet?
Well, so as I was saying, like Simpsons and Nick May. So Nick May, as my best friend's brother, he had a character called Paperface, which was a square with eyes. If you might remember the Tucker bag, like the brown bag over a head. Yeah. And so Paperface was a guy with a chainsaw with a big brown paper bag over his head. So it was a square with two eyes. And I thought it was genius because you're doing all these panels and panels and panels, and it was always just a square with two eyes. And I was just like, what can I do that's a square with two eyes? And I drew a square with two eyes, and then I drew a circle underneath it, and bang, I had a toilet. And then why would a toilet have eyes? I don't know. The devil gave them to him. And I was like, this thing writes itself. Yeah. So that's where the devil's toilet came from. What about you, Ed?
The karate comic is pretty much all from my imagination, and there's certain autobiographical things in Radical, mainly the flight and the shooting lasers out of your fingers, but yeah, it's mostly imagination and reference for backgrounds and stuff.
Oh, yeah, cool.
And there's a potty humor in my book as well. Lots of poo jokes and stuff.
Nice.
Careful now, you're breaching into my territory.
I don't know.
I am the poop
area.
I am the poop man of Australian comics.
So when did Devil's Toilet first come out?
Well, the first one came
we're
out.
getting into that round, are we?
Yeah. It was before when Zach said Vivian is from 1920s.
1920.
Yeah, and I was like, Frederick Trelawney's from 1889, bitch. Yeah.
Is that when you put your first book out?
Yeah, fictionally, Trelawney was first. So,
well, fictionally, you win then. So,
yeah. I think that's how it works. So if I create a Spider-Man that was born before Peter Parker was born,
yeah, you get the copyright. Yeah,
you get the copyright. Yeah,
I'm no scientist.
Get onto it.
That's just good science.
Get onto it now.
Yeah.
Technically, Vivian Jones is 40 years old in 29. So let's backpedal there.
Yeah, let me just do some quick maths because I think Frederick Trelawney's like 82.
That age, then I'll make mine older.
Yeah, he's like 3 minutes older. / we should probably just give them the same parents or something.
They both went to the same detective school.
Just trying to find his long lost brother. Does fall through a toilet portal.
Yeah. Where does Vivian, like, this is a somewhat serious question, like where in the world is it set? In its own world or in the actual world?
London.
Is it really? Is it really London?
Yeah. Giraffe London.
Oh, amazing. Does he work for Scotland Yard?
No.
Okay. All right. So we have some. I mean, maybe we should talk. We could probably tie their origins together. I'm actually somewhat serious.
Yeah, same Detective Academy.
Yeah.
The Animal Detective Academy. Everyone else is people, and it's like, who the fuck are these freaks?
They came there with Tim Styles knock around guy,
Yeah. Animal detectives through the ages.
Nice. Well, we're on the hour, guys. So what I might do is I'll just bring up some nice little pretty pictures for everyone. And we'll start with the guy who's missing tonight.
I'll just be waiting here off to the side so
Yeah,
People don't
off
forget me.
I can just press this button here and make you disappear. No. Okay, so we've got Foes here by Peter Wilson. He couldn't make it tonight. This is a comic about a demon and an alien on Earth trying to take over the Earth, and that's the Devil's Toilet to the side there. And
For comparison purposes.
for comparison purposes, yep. So, and they're trying to take over the Earth, and they hate each other because each of them want to be the one who does it. So I just voiced that one for
On sale now.
On sale now, yes.
On sale now.
Nice. Now we'll give Ed the floor.
Yep, so this is Final Dragon. That's the main character. His name's Bobby Long. And yeah, it's a karate comic. It's about but it's a karate story, so it's about revenge and karate and lots of blood and karate kicks.
Awesome. Two can play this game, Rob.
I was staying out of it now that it's Ed talking about his book. When it was Peter's not here, Peter's fair game. But no.
Cool, thanks, Ed. There you go.
Hey, it's my time to shine, you guys.
Slide
Frederick
back into
Maloney.
frame now. Back into frame.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Turtle Detective.
Other way.
Otherwise,
That's it.
Yeah.
What's his deal? So he has been hunting demons. He's got one left before having completely gotten rid of them from London's East End. But a pesky killer named Jack the Ripper is getting in his way and stopping him from what he feels is his true purpose, is to rid London of demons. Can he do both by the end of the third issue? We'll have to find out.
Nice. I should have made these pictures bigger. I'll have to remember this next time, especially if Rob's on this. Rob's on. So yes. So tell us a little bit about Vivian.
First of all, I'm going to apologize to Happy Harold making a giraffe smoke.
Oh.
And
I think it's fine.
Only an Australian would get. Only an Australian would get the reference. It's great. Look, you're not Australian unless you get taught drugs in a van by a puppet giraffe, alright? So he's a occult detective after a brush-in with a very famous witch in history. You're going to have to read the book to find out what one.
Nice.
So there's 20 years after he's being attacked by said witch. He's a witch hunter hunting witches down. His friend is a Wiccan witch, a white witch. She's named after Nicholas Scott. Nicola LaFay, tying into more witchcraft history. And Nicholas Scott knows this and has seal of approval.
Nice.
But yeah, so lots of occult stuff.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Thanks, Zach. Now bring on the one with everyone.
Yay.
Awesome. Well, so I guess this is my turn now. So I started reading comic. Oh, sorry, hang on, no. So this is coming out in August of this year. We're doing a Kickstarter in July. So be ready for that, everyone. And these 4 wonderful stories are all in the one anthology. And that's the ComX Studio Presents, which will be a bi-monthly anthology. Yeah, I was looking for the word then. So yeah, check out these guys' stories in August, and I know you'll love them. I've had the lucky fortune of reading some of them, not all of them, but some of them, and they're great. These are awesome, and like Ed's been streaming his, so awesome. If you actually, I should put that on. No, actually,
That's Ed Beasley Art on Twitch.
Could you type it into the private chat so I can just copy and paste it?
Sure.
And if anyone else has a link they want to share, throw it in there now.
Throw you in there now.
If you want to. And where's there? Hang on, I
Make
should
sure
probably
you
check
flush,
that.
Rob. Throw him in and flush.
There you go.
Thank you very much. Now got to remember what to press. That's not it. Oh, it doesn't just show up. There we go. So there's Ed's Twitch. Go over there, check out Ed's drawing. It's a lot of fun. I haven't been able to watch it for a while because of the calendar Kickstarter, but I've had the fortune of being able to watch it again, and it's great fun. And then I go, no, thank you. And then we got this one here. I've just got to navigate. No, that's not it. Should have prepared these earlier. This is Psycho Janitor for Rob, Spedsy Lyle, or Rob Lyle / Spedsy. So that's where you can catch his comics and
get all my stuff.
Yeah,
Links to
cool.
all my comics and
I'm pressing the wrong button again. Anything you want to share, Zach, or just what Zach drew is where you find Zach, or Isaac. He goes by many names, a mysterious man.
Zach the Ripper, what Zach drew. I'm sure there's another famous serial killer I could swipe their name.
Cool. Oh, God, I'm not used to these buttons. I really aren't. Cool. So thank you, everyone. I'll get rid of that picture if I can find it. There. Thanks, everyone. It was great to have you tonight.
great to have you.
You had me?
Sorry.
You had me?
So easy to derail you.
You had me at hello. Jerome, stick around because we're going to do some Kickstarters. But everyone else, thank you very much for coming. Oh, that's a lovely drawing.
Yeah. That's Annika, the Angel of Awesome. When this is all said
I'm really
and
looking forward to trying to draw that toilet realistic in my style. Because
that would be awesome.
Probably not.
What's that from, Ed?
That's the final dragon. They're called the dual dragons.
Oh, okay.
When they were young and they were fighting in competitions.
Bring back your Copic marker work.
Never. That's what it looks like on the back. It's like, yeah, Copics.
That's awesome. Wow, that looks really good.
Thank you.
Very cool. Well, thank you very much, everyone. I'll let you go so I don't hold you up for the night. It was great having you all. It was good to learn a little bit about each of you. And thank you for being on the ComX Studio Presents.
Thanks for having us.
Pleasure.
Thank you guys.
Pleasure.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Who shall I remove first? Oh, Ed's in control here. Thanks, guys. Okay, Jerome.
Yeah.
What we'll quickly jump over to the Kickstarters here. Now, I will just go back to these little banner links, whether I'm remembering everything. Okay, so everyone, if you go to comx.vip/latest Kickstarter, that will take you to the latest Australian indie Kickstarters. So I'll just leave that up on the page so you can see how we got where we're going. And it'll help if I actually share my screen. So these are the latest Kickstarters for Australia at the moment, for Australian indie comics. So if you haven't checked these out, again, go to comx.vip/latest Kickstarter. And this will take you to the latest Kickstarters that are out at the moment. We've got Super RBA or Super
Ready Battle Armor.
Ready Battle Armor, that's it.
Yeah.
Lady of the Light, issue 4. That's currently 36% funded. So if you can, this is a good comic, this one. It's a great story, a bit of a manga style to it, is that correct?
Yep.
You've read more of these than I have, so...
It follows more of a manga style than traditional comics, but it is quite good. You can give it a read. It has its first 3 issues out, and this is the 4th one, which should continue with the story. And there's something interesting coming. So,
yeah. And Halftone Productions, I believe it's Bradley
Aiden, yeah.
Yeah, that's it, Bradley Aiden, yep. Who writes this particular story. Nothing bad on you that I haven't read it. It's just I've skimmed it because it's in my massive pile of 2 reads. So it's not a bad thing that I haven't read it. It's because I haven't read a lot. So, yeah, I have skimmed it. It looks pretty cool. I've had a look at the art, so it looks pretty cool. Which I do to every comic as it comes in. And then I put it in the pile, and then I eventually read it. So we've got Grill of My Dreams, The Sheep and the Ghost, which I believe is the 3rd or 4th Grill of My Dreams.
It's the 3rd, yeah. It's the 3rd one.
Yep. He's recovering from a gunshot wound. I'm just reading straight here. And finds himself in a retirement... No, he's trying to retire from being a superhero, and he finds himself in a nunnery. A nunnery of sheep, I believe.
Yep.
And this one's going splendidly. 226% funded. So that just shows
Still have 16 days to go.
Still got 16 days to go, so get on to that one, guys and girls. There's a reason this is going so well. All these other comics, Tim Stiles is a great writer, and his other comics they're great to read, and people know this, and that's why this is being funded so well.
Yep.
Then we got Fox and the Hound, issue 4. Oh, we've got a few issues 4, see? I love this line. You came for the TNA, you stayed for the jokes. And now we're up to issue 4. That's a great line, that one. I think Nicole's done great there. This one's a little bit more adult, but it's a lot of fun. It's not just sexiness for the sake of sexiness. It's actual...
So a lot of cool, strong women in it, and they're there, and they're there to kick ass. And
yes, definitely. And then we've still got a few down here as well. They're all funded, but they're this one's crazy amount of money.
Yeah,
$101,000.
Just 16 hours to go.
It's 16 hours to go. Yes, I think they will be very happy. I don't know too much about that comic, so I can't tell you too much about that one. The comic lyric booklet. I haven't looked into this. I should have had a look at this beforehand. But that's got 17 days to go. They're 238% funded. So they're going quite well. This one's interesting. 7-year-old girl. First comic. A comic about bullying. I just found this today myself, actually. She's giving out bracelets to some of the rewards that she's made herself. This is kind of cute. And, so it must have had a very low pledge level because it's at $90 and it's 361% funded. So, but that's a nice little feel-warm type of...
Yeah.
Spirits Beside Us.
And this is Spirits Beside Us, yeah.
Do you know about this one?
I think I've heard about it somewhere, but it's still a mystery to me about the entire story. You know.
Yeah, it's still a mystery to me as well.
Give it a good.
It's got 7 days to go. It's a fantasy comic of warring cults in the modern day. So it sounds interesting. I'll have to have a look at that. And so it's 17 days to go. So next week we'll have another look at this when I've had a proper read of it. And that's all the open Everything else is finished. Oh, what's this one? What's
Oh.
this one? Oh, 18-month calendar. Oh, that sounds great. Oh,
Yeah.
too late. Too late, everyone. You've missed out. You've missed out. So that's all the Kickstarter. So again, go to comx.vip/latest Kickstarter to get the latest Australian indie comics, so you can find out what's out there in Australian indie comics in Kickstarter, so you can support them. Because once you get hooked on Australian indie, there's no turning back. It's great stuff out there. It's just awesome comics.
Lots of
I'm
variety
loving
too.
lots of variety, many different styles, many different genres. I mean, we've got talking toilets with arms and guns. How
We have karate
different-
guys. We have
we've got
animal
karate guys.
detectives. You know.
we've got animal detectives, and that's just in our comic. So yeah, cool. Well, thank you very much, everyone. I'll bring this back to. We'll make Jerome the voice in the darkness.
I'll eventually come out. Eventually.
Eventually, yeah. Well, thank you everyone for joining us tonight. It was I had a lot of fun tonight. I hope you did as well. It was good meeting all the people from the ComX Studio Presents comic Anthology. I keep forgetting to say Anthology. And thank you, Jerome, for coming out again tonight to be my co-host.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
And thank you for the great questions that I will one day think to ask myself. But for now, I'll just leave that as your job. And yeah, so thank you everyone, and that'll be us for the night. Have a great night, everyone. And if you're in YouTube, please down here somewhere
Give us
is
a like.
there's a subscribe button. So subscribe to our
click that
channel.
bell, yeah.
Click that, and I think there's a like there somewhere as well. This side. So yeah, thank you very much, and have a great night.
Have a great night, guys.
See you, Jerome.
See ya.